Hi everyone, welcome to Tech Tutorials. So day 4 live session in Master Course Java in 30 days. So today the topic is control structures. So the main concept in any programming language. So today we'll discuss about what is a control structure, why it is need for the programming languages, and what are the different types of control structures we have in Java programming. So we'll start with the discussion. So control structures in Java programming language is used to control the flow of execution of the program. So when we return a program in any programming language, so the compiler it starts execution from the beginning of main function and it will execute line by line the instructions you are given in your program. So such type of execution is normally known as a sequential execution. So where the statements are said to be sequential statements. So we didn't have any conditions to check. We didn't skip any statements. We just go through line by line and we will execute in sequential execution. Whereas the decision making or selection control statements will violate this sequential execution. So depends on some conditions to satisfy. We have to execute the set of some statements or else we can skip the statements. So whenever in your programming we need to make any decision depends on some conditions, the sequential order of execution is not give you in a proper way of controlling in your program. So we can use the control structures to change the flow of execution of your program, and we can make the controlling of your program depends on conditions. So whenever you need some decision making in your programming language, so definitely we are going to use the concept of control structures. And a third type of control structures is said to be an iterative statements, which are simply known as loops. So the purpose of iterative statements is whenever we need to execute some set of statements, it's more than one time, then we are going to use the iterative statements in your programming languages. So we'll just go through in brief about each and every control statements in Java programming. So in sequential control, so the Java program statements are executed in sequentially, that is one after the other from the beginning to end. And like we have the statements like this in your program, like you have statement 1, 2 and 3 and so on, n of statements you have in your program, and your compiler is going to execute one by one. So there is no conditions and there is no skipping of statements. So whatever you are given in your program, it will be executed one by one. So that is a sequential flow. And whereas the decision making or selection control statements for your Java programming, so there are two types like conditional and unconditional control statements. So we can conditionally control your program execution flow, or else there is no conditions, but we want to move or we want to skip some statements in your program, then you are going to use the second type of control statements like unconditional control statement. So we'll discuss about in brief each and everything. So in conditional control, the execution of the statements will depends on the condition test. So if condition is evaluated true, so then the set of statement which you are given in under that condition is going to be executed. So if condition fail, so then it is going to execute the rest of the statement after that condition in your programming. So decision control structures in Java can implemented using 5 different ways. One is by using simple if statement, and second one is by using if else statement, and third is nested if, fourth is if else ladder or else if ladder, and the fifth is switch case control structures. So these are 5 different ways we are going to implement the control structures concept in Java programming. So I will explain about each and every way, and we demonstrate with simple examples. So we'll start with simple if. So simple if statement is used to single condition based decision making. So like we have in your program, we have only one condition, and depends on that condition we can make only single decision. So whenever you require such type of criteria in your program, you are going to use simple if in your Java program to make some decision. So when condition is true, you are given in if statement, then the set of statement which you provided under that if condition is going to execute. So this is a syntax. Simply you have if, then you are providing some condition here, and then if this condition is true, then you have to give the set of statement what you are going to execute. Um, so here this is a flow chart which will give you a simple if statement flow. So before this condition you have some statements in your program, and after this condition it will evaluate it first. So if this condition is true, then the statement which you provided under this if condition is going to execute. If this condition fail, it doesn't make any decision, but it continue with the remaining statements provided in your program. So I will show you with a simple example. So I'm using my notepad to write a program. So here I'm taking a class, and here I'm going to take an example for if, so that I can take like this if example. So this is Camel Case. So in Java we can use Camel Case. So Camel Case is nothing but we can make initial capital of each and every word. So you can find out here I have 2 words like if example. So I just combine it, and the first letter of the second word I'm going to make as capital. Such type of representation is said to be Camel Case in Java programming language. So here this is my class, and here I need to take public static void main. So string args. So make sure your S must be capital. String args. And then here by using the simple if, I'm going to find whether the given number is even. Right. So for that I need to take one number. So I will assign with some value. So after we are getting some idea how we are going to write a programs in Java, so that I will show you how you can take the input from the keyboard, right? A little bit later. So here in this program, I just initialize my number with 56 in the program itself. So then I need not to take a value from the keyboard. So here I'm going to write my if condition. So now I want to check whether this number is even. So simply I need to use a modulus operation for this number by 2. So then I will get my remainder as 0. So then simply I can say this is even. So here we need to write system.out.println. So this is a statement which is going to print. So even number. So I just write even number. So then I want to print this number itself, so that I can write like this. So plus, so just I'll take this num. So now it will give me an answer like even number and the number which I am taken, and that is going to be displayed here. So now this is my if condition. So now you can see this is my if. So if this condition is true, then this block of statement is going to execute. Right? If this condition fail, now this statement is not going to execute. So that I will demonstrate you what's happening. So that after this if condition, I'm going to write one more statement. System.out.println outside if statement. So simply I just demonstrate what's happening if condition either true or false. Because of that reason, I'm given one more statement here. So because I already said if this condition is true, then the statements within this if is going to execute, and then it continue with the remaining statements of your program. Even if condition not true, so then this statement is going to skip, and the rest of the statement which you provided in your program is going to execute. So this is my main function I will close, and then here I need to close my class. So I already said we need to save your program by using class name, and here my class name is if example. So I want to take an extension as .java. So I just save this program. So remember, the class name must be your program name. Otherwise your Java compiler is not recognize your class. So here I need to go for command mode. So I just go for command prompt, and here I need to change my directory to desktop and HTML, because I already said the reason, because my files are I kept it for the HTML which is available on my desktop. So now my path is ready. So my class path is ready to execute my program. So I can give here if example dot Java. So after it compiling, so now it will give me a prompt like I can give Java interpreter. So simply I can give here my class name if example. So I just click on enter. So now you can see even number 56 and outside of if statement. So even if your condition true or false, so the statements after the if control block is going to execute. So I will show you the other example. So I'll change this number. So now suppose if I'm given it is 51. So I need to change I need to save the changes, and again I will run the program. So now you can see Java C if example dot Java. So now I'll give like Java if example. So now you can see outside of if statement. So now you can observe that even number means the statement which I'm given inside of my if is not executed because this condition is fail. Because when you divide 51 with 2, it provide you the remainder as 1. Right? So because of this reason, this statement is skipped, and the next statements after this if is going to execute. So this is simple if statement. So in your program, whenever we want to make one decision depends on one condition, then you are going to choose simple if statement for that. And the second one is if else. So it is simply an extension for your simple if statement. So like we have a disadvantage with simple if, it can make a decision if the condition is true. So it cannot do anything if condition fail. So in order to avoid that, we can extend it simple if with if else. So now this if else statement will make two decisions depends on a single condition. And here also we have only one condition. So depends on that one condition, that either it is true or false, you can make a decision. So that is a difference between the simple if and if else. So now you can see this is a syntax for if else. So if we have a condition, if this condition is true, then the block of statements given in your if is going to execute. If condition fail, then else block is going to execute. So now see here. So this is a flow chart for if else statement. If condition is true, then the statement under if is going to execute. If condition fail, then the statement under else is going to execute. In any one of the case, it is continue with the remaining statements of your program. Right? So I extended the example. So I will take this. So I can. So first of all, I need to copy this. Otherwise, we'll go with another example. So suppose I can take a new file. So my class name is if else demo. So my class name is like this. I have three words so that I can make like this Camel Case. So then my class is open. Here I need to take my main function. So public static void main. So string args. So in my main function, so I already said whatever the variables you declared inside of your main function is said to be local variables, right? Because these are defined inside of the function or a method. So simply here I'm going to give a demonstration whether which one is greater among two numbers, right? So when you take two numbers, when you make a comparison, any one of the number is become bigger, right? So now I'll check with if else for that example. So I can take two integer values. So one is in A. So I'll take 58 in A and then 96 in B. So now here I need to check if A is greater than B. So if I said A is greater than B, then my answer is A. So system dot out dot println. So simply here I am given greater. So which one is greater? A is greater. Because if A is greater than B, then obviously A is greater. So then I can close my if. Then I'll start my else. So if A is not greater, then which one is greater? B is greater. So now system dot. So make sure in system S must be capital. So system dot out dot println, because your Java is also a case sensitive language. So you have to take care. So greater. So which is greater now? B is greater. So now simply I can give like this. So any one condition means if condition fail, then it is execute else part. If condition true, then it execute if part. So whatever it may be, I want to print some statement like outside of if else. So system dot out dot println outside. So like this I'm going to print. So because I demonstrate you like if condition true, then the statement is executed, then continue with the remaining statements of your program. If condition fail, then else part is going to execute and it continue with the remaining statements in your program. Because I want to demonstrate that, so I'll give the statement like this. So then I can close my class also. So I just save this program with my class name. So if else demo. So this is my class name. So I need to give an extension .java. Don't forget, otherwise it will take it as a text file. So save. So now my program is saved. I just go to my command prompt and here I need to give Java C. So I need to give Java C, Java compiler. So then here I need to give my program name .java if else demo .java. So now it is successfully compiled. So here I need to provide my interpreter for execution Java. So if else demo. So now you can find out greater is 96. So now you can find 96 is B. So it will make a condition like 58 is greater than 96. Now you can find 58 is not greater than 96. Then what's happening? Simply it is going to print the else part. So because of that else part, it will take B value and it will show you. See, greater is 96. And it will skip the if condition part and it will execute the next statement after this else part. So because of that reason, it will show you outside. So this is a simple example for if else. So when you are going to use if else, if you want to make two decision depends on a single condition, then you are going to use if else in your programming. So now the next thing is if else, nested if statement. So when coming to a nested if, so this is somewhat different than your simple if and if else statement. So in simple if or if else statement, we have only single condition, and depends on that condition we have to make either a single decision or two decisions. So whereas nested if, so we can write if statement under another if statement, then simply it is said to be a nested if statement. So now the situation is we don't want to make a decision depends on a single condition. We want to make a decision depends on multiple conditions. So when your program it satisfies multiple conditions to true, then only we can execute the statements under if, right? See how this the syntax for nested if is. See here we have if and we can write the condition 1, and in inside of if we have to write one more if. Now this will make the nested if concept. So if and if. So now you can see this condition is true, then it is going to take this condition. If both conditions are true, then statement 1 is executed. Right? If condition 1, condition 2 is true, then statement 1 is executed. If condition 1 is true, condition 2 is false, then statement 2 is executed. Okay. So if the first condition itself false, then it is going to execute statement 3. So this is a flow of controlling how the nested if is going to execute. Right? Simply whenever we are going to use nested if concept, so like you can write one if statement under another if statement. Right? So this is a flow how your nested if is going to execute. So I will demonstrate with a simple example. So suppose for example, if I take two conditions like I want to check whether the given number is positive. So when it becomes positive and it is a number, so it's great. I will make it as like if I'm taking a number, it is not 0 and it is greater than to 0, then only I will make that as a positive integer. Right? So otherwise it will be a negative or it will be a 0. Right? Suppose I want to demonstrate that, or else we'll take any other examples like suppose C. Yes, we'll take three numbers and we are going to check which one is greater. Okay, so I will demonstrate with that. I hope it has worked. Okay, we'll see. So now I just go through my new. So here I can take class and nested if is our thing, right? So I can take like nested if example. So this is my class name. So then I can open my class and here I need to write public static void main. Public static is a keyword. So I will tell you at the time of when we discussing about the class why we are taking public, static, void and all these things, because at the beginning I don't need to confuse you. Right? See here public static void main. So here I can give string args because I already said Java can take everything as a string. So then here I will take three numbers. Int A is some 56 and B is 89 and then C is 25. Suppose this type of way I'm going to take the values. So now I want to find which one is bigger among of these three numbers, and we can see that B is greater because B is having the greatest value as compared to A and C. So now I think logically and I'm going to implement this nested if statement. So if A is greater than B, suppose if A is greater than B, so then I want to make a decision like A is greater. I need to check, right? It will be greater to C also. So I can take like this. So if A is greater than B, then I will check A is also greater than to C. So I will make a decision like if A is greater than B and if A is greater than C, then I will tell like A is greater. Right? So here I am given system dot out dot println system.out.println. So here I need to make A is greater. So greater is A then. So if I only mention like if both condition true and this statement is going to execute. So if first condition true, right, and second condition fail. So if A is greater than to B, but A is not greater than to C. So who will be greater? Obviously C will be greater. Because if first condition true means what? A is already greater to B, right? So here I need to write else statement. So think logically before you are going to implement your program, because your machine is simply a machine. It cannot have a logical thinking part. So programmer can think and implement the program, right? So system.out.println. So what I said, if A is greater than B, right? So then it is going to check this one. So if this condition true and this condition is also true, then A is greater because 56. So here it is not implies that. So here I will take greater. So which is greater now? C is greater. So obviously, so I already make a decision like A is greater in one condition and C is greater in another condition. So what I left? So I have the another thing that is B is greater. So if it doesn't having any of these things, then obviously which one is greater? B is greater. So I can give like this. So simply greater. So here I need to provide B is greater than semicolon. So I can close this if now. So now you can see this is if part and this is just closing now. So make sure when you use this blocking, you must close in a proper way. So now you can see this if is closed here, else is closed here and else is closed here. Now I need to close another if statement here now just like this. And after that I need to close my main. So before I need to close, here I am giving system dot out dot println. So what are the statement you want to give? I'll just give you a hello. So even whatever the statement is executed from this nested if, but this statement is going to execute after this statement's execution. So now I need to close my class itself, right? So I just save this program. So nested if example dot Java. So now I run this program. So Java C nested if example dot Java. Okay, else without if. Okay, I'll make some mistake here. So I will check it once. So now we have if, if both true, then it will close. Yes. So nesting I missed. Because of that, we are getting this. Okay, I think now it is okay. So I'll run it. System dot okay out. So make sure you have to save your changes after modifying it. So now see here I need to give Java nested if example. So it will show me like 89 is greater. So we know like 89 is greater. So now you can see these two conditions are this condition is true and this condition failed, right? So now you can see if both condition true, this is going to execute. If this condition true and this false, this is going to execute. If this becomes failed, then this else part is going to execute because we know 56 is not greater than to 89. So this is a simple example for nested if. So now we'll move on to next topic that is if else ladder. So simply I think you know the general example for ladder. So whenever you have an object like you want to pick up from the ladder, like you can step by step you are going try to pick that object. If it is not, then you are going to climb another step. Otherwise we stop there and we have to give your answer. So the same logic is going to be implemented in if else ladder. So like we have if, else if, else if, else if, like that you have any conditions, you have that many number of conditions you have to give here. And the difference between this nested if and else if is, so in previous, so if first condition is true, then only it is going to check the second condition. Whereas here in else if ladder, if first condition fail, then only it check for the second condition. If second condition fail, then only it check for the third condition. So whatever the condition is true, then the corresponding statements are going to execute, right? So because of this will be a if else ladder. So now you can see this is your first condition. If it is true, then it can execute statement 1 and it is continue with the remaining statements. If condition is failed, then it will check the second condition. If that condition is true, then it will execute statement 2 and it continue with the remaining statements. If this condition failed, then only it will check condition 3. So like that you can write any number of conditions in your if else ladder. So if the previous condition failed, then only it will check the next condition. Otherwise, at where it is satisfied, the statements given in that block is going to execute. So now if else ladder is going to written in your program whenever we have a multiple conditions with multiple decisions. Then we are going to use this if else ladder. So this is like this. So I'll give you one example for this if else ladder. If else ladder. So what we are going to take for if else ladder? If condition statement, else if condition statement. Okay. Mm, we'll take examples for if else ladder. So I'll give here class uh, if else ladder. So this is my class name and here I'm going to take public static void main and here I need to pass passing arts. So here I'll demonstrate with grading of marks. So here I will take the percentage of particular student directly. So in the percentage, so now this percentage is some 60 or something. So you can take anything. So I will check whether the percentage is 60, then he comes under like first class. Sorry. So I'll start with first class with distinction we will take. So I will try to write a statements for that. So I will take if percentage is greater than or equals to 75. So now I'll make this person is first class with distinction. So system dot out dot println. So here I'm given first class distinction. So now we'll check in else if. So if percentage is not greater than or equals to 60, so then I will check what will be the next possibility. Else if so percentage is greater than 60, so then I will give that person will be first class. So first class. So if person is not getting marks is greater than 50, so I will take the condition like else if percentage is greater to 50. So I'll make that person is of second class. So simply I can give here second class. So I have another possibility. The person is getting marks which is greater than 40. So he just passed or third class simply I can take. Else I'll inform that that person is failed. So failed. So here I'm given like failed. So my if else ladder is closed and then now I need to close my main function, then I need to close my class. So I just save this program. So if else ladder dot java. So I just save this program. So then I'll run this program. So I can give like java c and then if else ladder dot java. So here I need to give java if else ladder. So now you can see it's greater than. Okay. So here in first condition I didn't give equals to. So that makes the person like this. So equals to that condition is also make, right? So I'll give like this. So here I need to execute one more time for a perfect answer. So now you can see the person is comes under the first class. Because I already said we are working on a machine. Machine is doesn't having any brain to think. Whatever the logic you are going to implement and it is going to execute that only, right? So we want to make whether the person is having first class, just we have to give a condition like equals to 60 also, right? So now this is an example for if else ladder. And the next one is switch case. So switch case will give you multiple choices for the user. So whenever we have a multiple choice, then you are going to use the switch case in your programming. So this is the syntax for switch case. Simply you can use the keywords like switch, case and break, default. These are the four keywords which is going to use along with your Java program to implement the switch case control structures. So now you have to make a choice. Depends on a choice, it will select the particular case and it is going to execute those statements under that case. Right? See here case 1. If case 1 is not, then only it will take case 2. If case 2 is not, then only it will take case 3. And so on, it is going to check for case n. Simply you can take like if else ladder is also one of the example for this. So we are doing the same thing in there also. But when we are going to implement the largest part, it is becoming somewhat difficult with your if else ladder. So for that we can take, so this is a best example. I mean best way to implement such type of things. So this is a switch case. So I'll demonstrate with a simple example. So like you can take a class and switch case. So here I need to take public static void main. Public static void main, and here I need to give string as. And here suppose if I want to make some choice like I'm asking like I'm taking a choice from 1 to 7 and depends on the choice is given, so I will make that what day in a given week. So suppose if they given like 1, so then I will take like it is a Monday. So 2 it will be Tuesday, 3 it will be Wednesday, like that I'm going to implement a simple program here. So we just go through. So for switch case, so here I'm asking the user for choice. So now suppose the user given choice is 5. And this choice I need to take from my switch case. We switch off choice. So then here I need to implement the cases, case 1. So we have a space between case and the constant value because remember case is a keyword. So when you club this constant value with case, then it doesn't treat as a keyword, right? So then we have statement like system.out.println. So whatever we want to print, we must write within this statement only in Java. Suppose if I am given one as Monday, then semicolon. So here I need to give break. So don't forget to give a break. Otherwise, it is continue with the remaining statement after the condition is going to satisfy, because we are not breaking your case. So I just copy for 7 times because we have 7 days in a week. So for second I am given Tuesday, and for third it is Wednesday, and fourth it is Thursday, and fifth it is Friday, and 6th it is Saturday, and 7th it is Sunday. So I need to write one more, that is a default case. So simply the default case is going to be execute if any condition is not true. So then if you given 7 cases, if any of these cases is not matched with your choice, then it will print you this default thing. So week is having only 7 days. So if user is given a choice is more than 7, then simply you can write like this. So for default, we don't give any choice, any break statement, because that will be the last statement. And then I need to close my main, and I need to close my class. So I just save this program. So I need to give switch case dot Java. So I just run this program. So Java C switch case dot Java. So if you have any compile time errors, it will show you the errors, and after that you need to modify those, and then we'll continue for execution. So now I need to run this so that I can use my interpreter Java, and simply here I need to give switch case. So like this. So I'm given 5, right? So for case 5 I'm given Friday, so simply it will display me Friday. So if your choice is greater than 7, see, I will execute that case also. Now it will show me the default thing. So here I'm given Java C, and then I'm given Java. So now see, the default case is executed because the choice is not matched with the cases you are given. So simply it is given week is having only 7 days. So this is simple example for switch case. So the purpose of using switch case is whenever we have a multiple choices, then we are going to implement this switch case. So now we have unconditional control statements. So like break. So I already shown you how you're going to use your break. And then we have continue. So, so what your continue statement will do in Java is, so whenever we have some situations, if that situation will break your condition, even you're going to make something to continue. Right? Suppose, for example, I'll give you a real example for continuous statement. Suppose you are studying some stream, like either you are from BTech or Diploma. Everyone is having some timetable for a day. Uh, so now you have your timetable. In first hour, some person is coming and teaching the things. So unconditionally means he doesn't know that he need to continue for the next hour also. In that time, if someone is come immediately and they will tell like you just continue the next class also. So that will be the situations like unconditional, because there is no condition. They, because see how the person is come to your class and teach. If they have a timetable, in that timetable if they have a particular hour, then only they will come. So that is your condition. So even that condition is not there. So for that you need to continue for the next hour also. Such type of things we can say as continue. So these continue statements we are used along with iterative statements. Like see, for example, you can make any iterative statements like for, while, do while, and for each in your Java programming. You are trying to run your program for a particular number of times. So even if that condition fail, you need to continue something, then you are going to use the continue statement. So the syntax for continue is simply you can use the keyword continue and then give a semicolon. So now I'll demonstrate this at the time of an iterative statement when you are going to discuss. Because at that time you know what will be the loops and everything, so that there I will show you. So how you are going to use this continue statement. So here these are different types of control statements available in your Java program. So we'll make the controlling of the flow of execution of your programming environment. I hope you all enjoyed today's session and you all can understand how you're going to implement all these different types of control structures when it is needed in your program. I hope you all understand. Thank you. So I will post the attendance link so in live itself. So all of you just go through and fill that attendance sheet. So and then if anyone is having doubts, you just put your doubts on message box so that I will see and give you the answers for your questions. So now the today attendance. Okay.